In recent years, the United States has intensified its technology blockade on the Chinese market, resulting in several companies, including TSMC, NVIDIA, Intel, being banned from supplying to Chinese customers. This situation has created a blockade under U.S. technology hegemony. The U.S. has justified its unfriendly stance towards the mainland market by citing reasons such as ensuring global supply chain stability and protecting its technology from leaks. However, recent developments indicate that the U.S. has encountered challenges in enforcing its blockade on the mainland market. According to reliable sources, TSMC is reportedly planning to expand its foundry business in mainland China and has received permission from the U.S. government to ease restrictions. Although this news has not been officially confirmed, there are indications that it may be true. For example, the U.S. may grant long-term waivers to several large international manufacturers, including Samsung, SK Hynix, and TSMC, allowing them to operate and introduce chip manufacturing equipment in the Chinese market. Additionally, the U.S. recently announced a relaxation of shipping restrictions to Huawei for Western Digital, stating that the companies are conducting business outside the scope of the restrictions. Meanwhile, TSMC is engaged in communication and negotiations with customers in the Chinese market to discuss future development directions in China. It can be said that both the United States and TSMC have shown some relaxation in terms of supplying to the mainland market. This suggests that TSMC's expansion into the mainland foundry market is highly likely. If TSMC resumes foundry operations for the mainland market, it will be positive news for the Chinese semiconductor industry chain, which has been struggling, particularly in the current era of booming artificial intelligence and emerging chip technologies. TSMC's foundry support would provide excellent prospects for China's chip design industry. TSMC's recent plans to restart its foundry business in mainland China have directly impacted the Chinese chip manufacturing industry, and to some extent, SMIC has been affected as well. If TSMC truly embarks on its foundry business expansion and proceeds with its plan to expand the 28-nanometer process in mainland China, it is likely to capture a portion of SMIC's market share. In the semiconductor industry, a virtuous cycle of capital and orders is essential for achieving substantial growth. However, TSMC's decision to restart foundry operations is not necessarily good news for Chinese chip makers. Until recently, the majority of TSMC's chips were produced in Taiwan. Even when considering locations outside of Taiwan, the U.S. would have been TSMC's first choice due to the presence of chip design giants such as Qualcomm and Intel, along with inherent technological advantages. In fact, TSMC had previously announced its plan to build a plant in Arizona, United States, with mass production scheduled to begin in 2024, mainly focusing on the production of high-end 5-nanometer chips. According to various sources, the monthly production capacity of the fab is expected to reach approximately 20,000 wafers and create around 1,600 jobs in the United States. So, why did TSMC, which had plans to invest in a U.S. factory, suddenly decide to expand its production line in China? What are TSMC's true intentions? Firstly, the global chip supply has been tight in recent times, and the increasing demand for various types of chips across industries has resulted in a general shortage in the market. As a leading foundry in the chip industry, TSMC naturally seeks to alleviate the chip shortage by expanding its production capacity and earning profitable returns. Therefore, expanding production capacity under the current circumstances is undeniably advantageous. However, expanding production capacity is not merely a verbal commitment. It requires various resources and infrastructure support. Chip manufacturing, for instance, demands substantial amounts of water and electricity, and Taiwan has been facing significant challenges in this regard. Taiwan has long grappled with water and power shortages, with instances of wafer damage due to sudden power outages at chip foundries making news. TSMC recognizes the difficulty for the Taiwanese government to resolve these problems. Consequently, after careful consideration, TSMC has decided to transfer a portion of its mature chip foundry processes to Nanjing, China, China, being a major infrastructure builder, has a strong advantage in water and power supply and does not face the same power shortage issues. TSMC's continued expansion of production capacity in mainland China serves to alleviate the current supply-demand contradiction in the chip market to some extent. Although chip foundries like SMIC have been able to produce 28 nanometer and even 14 nanometer chips, their limited production capacity fails to fully meet the robust demand in the current chip market. Furthermore, TSMC's expansion of the 28 nanometer production line in Nanjing provides an opportunity for China to develop advanced foundries and accumulate talent in the long run. This is crucial since China has long lagged behind the world's advanced level in chip manufacturing primarily due to talent shortages. TSMC's success can be attributed to its ability to attract a significant amount of talent. The success stories of Apple's thriving industrial chain in China and Tesla's catfish effect achieved through building a factory in China demonstrate the importance of adopting an open-minded approach in the face of foreign competition. For TSMC itself, the past few years have not been favorable. The plan to build a factory in the US may seem flawless at first glance, but there are several unfavorable factors at play. While the US invited TSMC to build a factory there, seemingly extending a polite gesture, the underlying intention was to obtain TSMC's cutting-edge 5-nanometer process. Once TSMC establishes a factory in the US, there is a high likelihood that the US will promptly demand the transfer of the advanced 5-nanometer process to Intel. Considering Intel's struggles in achieving breakthroughs in sub-7 nanometer processes in recent years, losing its process advantage would be a fatal blow to TSMC. As a chip foundry, TSMC's advanced process technology is the cornerstone of its success. If it loses its process advantage, it becomes questionable why anyone would choose TSMC for foundry work. Taiwan possesses a vast talent pool and technological capabilities, and it must cherish and make every effort to maintain this advantage. TSMC's success also depends on China, the world's largest chip demand market. China prefers working with TSMC over Samsung due to reasons of homogeneity and lower supply costs. In summary, TSMC's potential return to China signifies a significant development. The United States has been using its technology blockade as a means to maintain its dominance in the global semiconductor industry and restrict China's technological growth. However, TSMC's expansion in mainland China could challenge this hegemony and provide an alternative source for advanced chip manufacturing. While there may be challenges and complexities associated with TSMC's return to China, it is a significant step towards a more balanced and inclusive global semiconductor industry. By expanding its operations in China, TSMC can contribute to the development of a more independent and resilient technological ecosystem, ultimately challenging the dominance of Western powers in the semiconductor market and fostering a more equitable and multipolar world order. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Subscribe to the channel and write your opinion in the comments.